Automatics are fun knives, and we've reviewed several on this channel. Today, we're going to review an American-made automatic knife from Gerber called the Empower. So let's go inside and take a closer look at this automatic knife. Hello and welcome back to Blade Insider, where we talk about all things knives. And today we're going to review a mid-size automatic knife called the Empower from Gerber. This is my first review of a Gerber knife, and the only other Gerber I've owned is the Dime multi-tool. I probably had that tool for the past 20 years or so. It's probably one of the best micro tools on the market. But Gerber is a brand that honestly I haven't had much interest in. You see it at the hardware stores or at the Walmart in the blister packaging next to the old timers, Bucks, and CRKTs. That's fine if you want a knife for your toolbox, but I already own enough knives for my toolbox. How many more do you really need? I bought this Empower for two reasons. First, I don't have a Gerber knife, and it's unfair to make any assumptions about the company unless you actually use one of their products. Second, they had a great promotion with Blade HQ, where they gave out a Yeti Rambler cup with purchase. That's a $30 cup, and I am a big fan of giveaways. The Yeti is a really nice cup, so I'm pulling for Gerber to do well on this review. But before we get into the review, I'd like you to consider subscribing to this channel, especially if you're a female. YouTube keeps telling me that only males watch my channel. So if you are a female and you do subscribe, say hello in the comments section below. Also, please ring the bell for notifications of our new weekly content. Just who is Gerber? They're an American company founded in 1939 by Pete Gerber and based in Portland, Oregon. But they are a subdivision of Viscars Brands, Inc. out of Finland. On their website, they claim that all of their products are designed and engineered in the US. Several, but not all of their knives are made in the US. They do have a lifetime warranty. Finally, some of their most popular knives are fixed blades, such as the LMF2 and the LHR. Let's go to the bench and take a closer look at the Empower. We review our knives based on 5 categories: design and aesthetics, carryability, materials, usability, and value. Our first category is design and aesthetics. As I said earlier, this is my first Gerber knife, and it's a $100 knife, so it's not cheap. Now, it arrived in this box, and opening it up, it came in this cardboard insert. No foam, no bag, no bubble wrap, just clipped to some cheap cardboard. Exactly what I would expect if I bought this at Walmart. But I damn well guarantee you I will not buy this knife at Walmart for $100. You can bet some bean counter and some office pod convince management to save 50 cents by using cheap cardboard. What that office jockey doesn't understand is that the box is the consumer's first impression of not only the knife, but of the company as well. Looking at the knife, it has a cool laser-etched insert on the presentation side of the knife. And that's something different about this knife. The insert fits flush with the scale and offers some grip to the smooth aluminum. Also on the show side is the switch, safety switch, and a big fat button to deploy the knife. You'll have no trouble deploying this knife with gloves on. On the spine of the knife, there's some reverse jimping, which offers minimal traction, and the back is closed in order to keep dirt out of the knife. On the clip side, the scale is smooth and plain. From an aesthetic standpoint, the clip is a mixed bag. I don't understand why it wasn't placed near to the top of the knife. And the clip is not set into the scale, but rather on top of it. But the clip itself functions really, really well, and it slides in and out of the pocket with ease and stays in place. Now, the knife is a right-hand carry only with either tip up or tip down placement. There is more non-aggressive jimping on the belly of the scales, but my knife was not centered, which leads me to believe that quality control at Gerber is not very good. I had another issue with the knife, and it had to do with the spring. At first, when I disengaged the blade to put it back into the scale, it would go limp and not spring back into place. But after working with it for a while, the spring seems to function fine. I don't know if it was just stiff or it had some other issue with it, but this seems to be corrected. The blade is a drop point blade with a flat grind and a false edge. This means the top of the blade is thin. It's good for spearing, but it doesn't provide the most comfort when disengaging the blade back into the handle. I'm not really a fan of it. The blade is stone washed and offset by black aluminum handles and gray silver laser etching. It's a good color combination with this knife. For design and aesthetics, this knife gets a 3.5 out of 5. The box is crap and the clip doesn't look the best, but functions fine. Finally, the blade was not centered. Our next factor is carryability. Let's run the tail of the tape on this knife. The overall length is 8.4 inches. Blade length is 3.25 inches, and the blade width is 1 inch. Blade thickness is 0.11 inch. Blade material is CPM S30V steel. It's a spear point blade. It's a flat grind, stone wash edge finish. The handle length is 5.125 inches, and the handle width is 1.25 inches. Handle material is aluminum with stainless steel inserts. The weight of the knife is 4.6 ounces. Holding the knife is very comfortable. The handle's quite large and gives me a lot of room for my large hands. The scales are chamfered and comfortable. Bearing down on this knife, there's no hot spots. The clip slips right between my fingers and is quite comfortable. The minimal jimping on the spine and the belly give you that extra traction without tearing into your hands. Let's see how this knife fits in a pair of jeans. This knife is a deceptive knife to carry. The handle is 5.125 inches in length. It weighs 4.6 ounces. By all rights, it shouldn't be the greatest knife to carry. However, the clip slides in and out of your pocket with ease and holds the knife in place. And there's plenty of room for a large iPhone to fit in your pocket. And what's nice is that there are no sharp edges on this knife. So it's not going to be scratching up your iPhone when both are in the pocket. Ergonomically, this knife is good and comfortable in your hands. It fits well in a pair of jeans and it ain't going to scratch up your phone. For carryability, this knife scores a 4 out of 5. While it's big, the clip is great and pocket friendly with your phone. The handles on this knife are made of anodized aluminum, and the electroformed armor grip is a great design touch. It does appear to be flush with the scale. The insert and clip are stainless steel, and the button and safety switch all appear to be stainless steel as well. The blade steel is S30V steel. Let's compare this steel with VG10 steel. S30V steel scores a 5 out of 10 for ease of sharpening, an 8 for edge retention, 5 for toughness, and 7 for corrosion resistance. VG10 scores a 6 out of 10 for ease of sharpening, 4 for edge retention, 4 for toughness, and 7 for corrosion resistance. Bottom line is that S30V steel is a good all-around steel and a good choice for this knife. For materials, this knife scores a 4 out of 5. The aluminum is a standard choice among knife makers for this type of auto, and at this price point, S30V steel works well and is a great choice for this automatic. The next category is usability. This knife is built like a tank, maybe not as overbuilt as the Gerber 06, but it is a solid knife. The aluminum is solid on this knife, and there is zero blade play with this knife. The drop point blade will work hard for you without having to worry about the tip breaking off. Let's see how this knife cuts. That's from the factory, and that's razor sharp. With this category, I always ask what this knife was designed for. Then I ask if it does that task well. So this knife was designed for hard use and self-defense. It's certainly big enough for defensive purposes. For hard use tasks, this knife works as well. It's a tank with good blade steel. It's well suited for the tougher tasks such as cutting up cardboard boxes. So for usability, this knife scores a 4.5 out of 5. Our last category is value. We need to take a look at the Empower's competitors to see if it's competitively priced. This knife was on sale for $100. Other than Gerber, its main competitors with S30V steel are from Benchmade, Piranha, and Hogue. Most of these competitors are selling their knives from between $130 to $180. So the Gerber Empower would be very competitively priced at $100. Another competitor would be the Kershaw Launch Series. The Launch Series of knives are CPM 154 steel, so a slight downgrade in steel blade. These Kershaw autos can be found on sale for about $70, but are typically priced at about $100. So for value, this knife scores a 4.5 out of 5. I think it's a value knife. It beats its competitors on both price and materials. It's a substantial knife, and you're getting a good value at $100 with the S30V steel. When we add up all the scores, this knife totals a 4.1 out of 5, which is higher than I initially thought it would score. First, the good. It's a big, solid knife built for heavy use. It has the armored grip, which is a useful and unique design element to the knife. The materials in the knife are very good, and it's a great value. But the packaging is just bad and gives a bad first impression on the knife and the company. The knife did not come centered, and the false edge is not something I like. Finally, the clip is a mixed bag, but it does function great. Like I said at the beginning, I wanted to give this knife a better review because of the Yeti cup. This is by no means a bad knife. It's a tank, and it reminds me of the ZT-0562. But as an automatic, it could have been better. But it's at a great price point. So the lesson learned here is that you can't have everything. To sum up this review, the Gerber Empower is not going to give you a great first impression. You have to stick with the knife and use it, but it will definitely grow on you. So what do you think of Gerber? Do you have any Gerber knife stories to share? Leave your comments down below. I read all the comments and try to reply to them. And if you're not part of our Blade Insider community, please consider subscribing to this channel. Also, if you get anything from this video, hit the like button and let us know we're doing something right. Well, that's it for this video. Remember to be responsible, be respectful, and be happy. We'll see you soon.